I realized, babes, that we didn't really talk about what books we've been reading this week.
Yeah, but I wasn't even finished with my book, though.
Oh my goodness.
But you can talk about yours.
I looked on Audible for their deal of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they kind of hide it in their app.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a book called Alice Unmasked. And I didn't want to pay the $3 to get the book.
Is it Unmasking Alice or Alice Unmasked?
I thought it was Alice Unmasked.
Okay.
So I go on to Bookshare and they have it.
Uh-huh.
Downloaded it there. And there was a book that came out in the early 1970s called Go Ask Alice.
Uh-huh.
It's about this teenager who gets involved with the drug culture.
Yeah.
And she ends up dying after writing a journal entry stating that she's going to be clean from now on.
Uh-huh.
And I think the impression was left to readers that she passed away about 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Okay. People loved this book. It got banned in a lot of libraries for saying that it encouraged drug use.
Wow.
But a lot of parents pushed back on that, saying that it opened up discussions with them and their children.
Uh-huh.
And they even made a TV movie about it on ABC, right?
It was called Go Ask Alice?
I think that was the name of the movie. Okay.
And this was back in the 70s.
That's right, babes.
I was just curious.
Okay. Art Linkletter was a complicated man.
Uh-huh.
And he was very popular.
Uh-huh.
His daughter, Diane, did LSD one night and committed suicide by jumping out of a window.
Uh-huh.
Now, we don't know if those two things are connected, but it's not too far of a leap to say that they are.
Uh-huh.
As a result, Linkletter pushed for those types of things to be illegal.
Uh-huh.
Right? And that's when we get the sweeping Psychedelic Act of the 1970s, signed by Richard Nixon, who was a racist and a criminal. Right? So, how do these two things relate? There was a female writer who had worked on some stuff with Linkletter's publishing company before. She decides to send a manuscript to them called Go Ask Alice.
Uh-huh.
And it gets published. But it's presented to the public like this is a true story. Not that it's some lady in her 50s writing this.
Right.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
Book becomes very, very popular. And a couple years later, there's a family, a Mormon family.
Yeah.
By the way, the Go Ask Alice is apparently huge in the Mormon community, according to this book.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true or not,
okay,
but that's the way I remember reading it.
Okay.
One of their sons in the Mormon family is kind of rebellious. He's not a bad kid. He's just going through some stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody around him really knows how to deal with him properly.
Right.
They talk about in the book how one day his siblings hold him down and cut his long hair.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting when you think about how things switch in our society. Because back in the day, it was a very liberal thing to have long hair.
Uh-huh.
And while in some respects that's still true, a lot of conservatives now wear their hair pretty long.
Do they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really? Men?
Yeah.
Huh. I think that's still weird. But yeah.
It's not my thing, but, to reach his own, as Randall from Clerks might say.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. He's having issues with his girlfriend and eventually ends up killing himself because he doesn't want to be drafted into Vietnam. Now,
Good reason why?
Well, is it really? I mean, the people around him don't know how to deal with him. And at the time, that was a big concern. I think had he lived, he probably would have grown out of it. But you got to try to look at things from somebody else's perspective and at least look at why they might come to the conclusions that they do.
No, I understand that.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with Go Ask Alice? Because as far as I know, there's no indication that this kid read that book.
Yeah.
Okay. couple years go by, and his mom keeps reading over his journal entries. There's only 67 of them, and it gives her comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the lady who wrote Go Ask Alice, she doesn't get a writer's credit, but in subsequent republishings of the book, she gets an editor's credit.
Right.
Basically saying that she knew Alice, and Alice gave her the diaries, and she put it into this form. And she starts making up these fictitious line of books that's all about kids talking to her.
Right.
And they get more and more weird.
Talking to Alice. Right?
No, talking to the lady who published the Alice books.
Wow.
But they're all made up. Like, this is, I think, in the 80s, so I'm fast forwarding a little bit. There's a story of a girl who gets addicted to drugs, and it's about her aunt takes her away to rehab. Her last couple entries are like, oh, the lady who helped work on Go Ask Alice is coming over to meet me tomorrow. My aunt says we're going to get along. I don't know if it's true.
Wow.
Then she comes there. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm getting the story mixed up. What had happened was, in the book, the teenage girl writes, my aunt says she has a surprise for me. I don't know what it can be. I'm near the end, and I have no hope. And then the next entry is the lady who wrote Go Ask Alice. It turns out she's a friend with my aunt. She came over, and Go Ask Alice is one of my favorite books, and I really connected with her, and I trust her to tell my story. Then she dies.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff like that.
That is, wow. So like the lady was the hero of the book.
Exactly.
Wow.
But let's get back to the family of the kid who killed himself. So this also happened in Utah. Right? No surprise, because it's a Mormon family.
Yeah.
And the lady who wrote Go Ask Alice lived there.
Yeah.
So one day, the mom is reading, I think, the newspaper, and sees that the editor of Go Ask Alice is going to be making an appearance. Or it was either that or she had lived nearby. They arrange to meet, and they talk. And she gives her son's diary entries over to her. There was a book that was published based on this called, I think, Jay, The Diaries of Jay, something like that.
Wow.
Where the author changed the name of the kid to Jay, but she also took a lot of creative licenses with his diaries. So he was into drugs and having fun with his girlfriend, but it might have been extreme for the 70s in Mormon Utah.
Yeah.
However, in today's society, it wasn't really that far out there.
Yeah.
But in her retelling of it, she made it seem like this kid was into satanic worship, and him and his friends would do animal sacrifices.
That's a little extreme.
To make this worse, she left in enough details so that the people in Utah knew who it was based on.
Wow.
Right? And she wrote an afterword from the mom's perspective. So basically making it seem like the mom had endorsed this stuff.
Wow. I bet they were really angry about that.
They were. But these parents didn't have a backbone. There's a big family meeting. And they call Beatrice there. And Beatrice is the lady who did Go Ask Alice in this
Beatrice,
book.
right?
Yeah. And basically nothing gets resolved there. And Beatrice continues her writing. She lived until 2012, and then she just passed away. Then.
Well,
it was a very interesting book, and something that was even more bizarre about it was written by Rick Emerson. Now, you don't know who he is.
He sounds familiar, but I don't know who that is.
Well, here's why you may recognize the name. Rick Emerson was a radio personality who was on the air in Portland for about 2 decades until I think he decided to retire to start writing books. At least that's what his Wikipedia page made it seem like. And this was the second book he worked on. It's a really interesting book. Wow. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I've never heard. Well, I mean, I didn't grow up in Portland, so I didn't hear him on the radio.
Yeah, and obviously I saw that it was written by some dude named Rick Emerson. Yeah. So I thought, oh, that's kind of weird. It's kind of like the radio guy. But then when I researched the book, I found out that it was him, not just somebody with the same name.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yes. Then Jaylo.
Yep.
I read Unscripted, which was about the drama in Viacom, meaning CBS and Paramount, and the
Wow.
Redstone family. We don't need to go into all of that,
Yeah.
but it was a really good book.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned to you in private. I don't think I mentioned it here. I think I mentioned it to you in private that there was a controversy about a book that was written supposedly about this 15-year-old boy who contracts AIDS because he was abused over his lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And it was made into a movie. But the person who wrote it was actually some middle-aged woman, and she was the one who played Tony in the movie, and she made the whole thing up.
Wow.
I think her name was Vicky something. I have to look that up because I heard it on 2020 a long time ago, and I thought it was real because my 6th grade teacher, one of my favorite teachers, she referenced that story in her class where she was teaching about child sexual abuse for our health class. And I thought, wow, that's a horrible story. I really wish I knew what the name of the book was. I think we'll have to look it up together. Or something.
What character was Tony? Because you said the author played Tony in the movie, but I have no reference to Tony.
Tony is the main character in her book.
Oh.
Who contracts AIDS after years of abuse.
So she plays a 15-year-old boy in the movie then.
That's what I hear, yes.
That's crazy.
And it turns out that she's really a middle-aged woman who wrote the book, played Tony, and I guess so this is maybe I should clarify a little bit more. She didn't just play the boy Tony, she portrayed herself in real life as Tony.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's insane.
Because she had a voice that could be mistaken for a boy's voice. It was kind of a husky voice.
Interesting.
But it was really some middle-aged woman who made the whole story up.
I think I talked about it here.
Yeah.
But back in 2007, I believe, or maybe it was 2008, I was reading the LA Times, and they were doing a profile on this book that was going to come out soon. And it was about this black girl who was raised in Compton and was a gang member, but had escaped that life and become a productive member of society. But she had done the email with the LA Times reporter, or done the interview through email to promote her new book. And it came out like a week or two later that she was actually like an upper class white lady who had made the whole story up.
Whoa, I never heard. When did that come out?
I just said 2007 or 2008 because that's when I was reading the Times a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it almost sounds to me like James Fry's A Million Little Pieces, except A Million Little Pieces was not like Go Ask Alice.
Exactly. And there was some truth I heard in James Fry's book, but it was mixed with a lot of fiction. And
Oprah was definitely right to feel very, very angry about that.
Oh yeah, I know that she got criticized for that, but for real, I would be pissed if I was her.
Yeah, and there was some clips where some guy was like, or some people were like, "Oh, I read James Fry's book and he really inspired me." But it turns out that a lot of pieces of his book was fictionalized.
Yeah. And what those people don't realize is, it's a weird thing to say, but most nonfiction books have a little bit of fiction in them. And the reason for that is because you're relying on somebody to interpret this information. You know? So, and it doesn't make what he did right.
Yeah.
But I think somebody to just say, oh, I was screwed over so badly by this is also... Yes, but there are other people you could look up to as well, not just James Fry.
Well, and it makes the people who actually went through addictions and went through gang life, and it makes those stories look really, really bad. The stories of people who actually did go through these things.
Yeah.
And how did they feel when somebody like James Fry fictionalizes most of his book?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Oprah was right to get mad at him.
Yeah.
Having said that, at some point we got to let it go. You know.
Well, I mean, you never heard about it again.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Yeah, so it was in a sense let go. But I'll never forget that show because I remember hearing him on the show, and then I think it might have been a couple weeks later, or maybe it might have been a month later that it came out that he fictionalized quite a bit of a story.
I remember Kitty Kelly talking about the incident in her Oprah biography, saying that Oprah called James Fry after the interview and was apologetic because she was afraid that she came off badly during it.
I don't think she should have apologized.
No.
Because you know what I noticed, and this is just in general, not just Oprah.
Tell me.
Why do people apologize after something that they say? Because if they thought it before, then they shouldn't have. If they thought about saying what they were going to say, they should have said it and stuck to it, or they shouldn't have said it.
Well, I hear you, but I'm very sympathetic to the argument that, yes, I meant it at the time, but when I really thought about it, I realized that that wasn't necessarily the best approach to something. Or somebody talked to me about it and they really changed the way I looked at this particular situation.
Yeah, but there are people that have expressed their beliefs about whatever it is, and they didn't apologize, but then they retracted and apologized for it. And I'm like, why do you need to apologize for it? If that's how you felt.
Yeah, but you don't have to. I hear you, but you don't. If you don't feel that way anymore, maybe you really, really regret saying something, even though you believed it at the time. If new evidence comes forward, so like one thing I rarely regret, and we don't have to go into this, is maybe I was a little bit too gung ho on the whole vaccination thing. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm completely anti-vax. But it does mean that if I had March through September of 2021 to live over again, I might not have pushed the idea of vax so hard on my friends. Right? So I could apologize for something like that because I no longer believe it, but at the time I did believe it. Does that make any sense?
Right. So you had some time to think about it.
Yeah, and I realized it wasn't that I was completely wrong, but I should have taken a little bit more time to do my due diligence instead of just looking at it like anybody who's anti-vax is wrong. That was a thought I had in my mind, but another thought was, if we do this, we're going to open soon, so let's shut up and do this. And I regret having those opinions.
Right.
Does that? I hope I clarified that. That was just an example from my own life.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes. But I'm still an Oprah fan.
Maybe. I mean, I'm a fan of her topics, but I'm a fan, to a point.
Well, yeah, I'm not one of those people who joins the Angel Network.
No, that's a little bit too much, yeah.
But I definitely respect what she's done with her life.
I did like her shows with Toni Morrison.
Nice.
And I had the privilege of reading at least one of Toni Morrison's books, and some of her books are very, it could be very controversial.
Like, you have the Filipino privilege of doing that.
Oh,
that's right. Go ahead.
So bad.
Sorry, babe.
Your jokes are not. They're not that good lately, Buzz. I don't know. I think you're losing your edge here.
Oh, it is. It's the audience fault.
What? It is not the audience fault. I'm just giving my sincere opinion.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I love you, but
I love you too. I had to hear about Dirk last night, but we'll get to that in a little while.
Oh yeah, that was really annoying.
Anyways, babes, back to Toni Morrison and Oprah.
Yeah, so I wish I met her. I read one of her books in my early 20s called Sula. It was a good story, but parts of it were very disturbing. Not quite as disturbing as the book that I had never read, but I heard about, and it's called The Bluest Eye, and it touches on the topics of rape and incest.
Wow.
Yes. I guess the name of the girl is Piccola, and she's a black girl, and she's apparently sexually abused by her father. And she wishes that she had blue eyes and blonde hair because she thought she thought that she would be treated differently. And even the other I think even the other girls in her class were treating her differently, not just her father. But I've never read it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
There must be something crazy going on because I've been hearing cop cars at your window for at least the last 5 to 10 minutes.
It might be in the other building across the way.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I just had to acknowledge that because it was a little bit distracting.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I need to read The Bluest Eye.
No, it just sounds very... I mean, there are some books that I read that are disturbing, but there are some books that are so disturbing that, like, I don't think I would be able to read Sleepers.
It was a good book, though.
I'm glad that they didn't go, like, over the top with what happened to those boys in the story on the last day they were in the home.
You mean in the movie?
In the movie, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that they didn't, really go graphic on that one, because you explained to me what happened in the book, and I'm like, I'm glad that I didn't have to, we didn't have to see that.
Yes.
It's like, wow.
Huh.
Talk about tearing boys down.
There's a lot of sadistic people out there.
It is very sadistic.
And we don't need to go down this rabbit hole, but that's one of the reasons I find it hard to believe in the living God, because there's so many just crazy people out there.
Well, first off, it isn't God's fault that this happens, because a lot of it is our fault, and there are reasons why he allows things, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't love us any less. And I think that's where people get it really wrong, is that they think that, well, how could God love us if he allows it? But there's always, a lot of the stuff that happens is our fault. We're not perfect people, and because of sin, that's why there are sadistic people out there.
A lot of things are, but a lot of things also happen in childhood that affect the way we think about things.
But again, we're imperfect people. And I think that there are reasons why people have to go through it, so that they can learn and appreciate what they went through. And it's not that God doesn't love them any less. It means that this person needs testing. Sometimes a person needs testing. Sometimes it's because of their own doing. And a lot of it is because of our own doing.
A lot of it is, but is it their own doing, like a kid who is born into slavery and beaten for the first 15 years of their life, and as a result doesn't know how to act? I don't know if that's their own doing.
Well, it's the parents' own doing, probably.
Right.
Right? It's not... But like I said, and I know, and I understand that people don't get this. You kind of have to go through stuff in order for you to appreciate where you've come from. And just because a person, even people that grew up in Christian homes, that doesn't necessarily mean that their lives are perfect either. So it really all depends on how you look at things.
So I can agree with you to a point. I do think we need some level of adversity, but not everybody who goes through intense childhood trauma is better on the other side of it.
I understand, but it's what you do with it.
Right, but
what I'm saying is it's what you do with it, and it doesn't have to be a life sentence after all that happened.
Right, but not everybody is strong enough to know that, or not everybody has the resources to really cope with their grief properly. And so we say that those are horrible people because they never learned how to channel this energy.
Well, it's hard for anyone to answer, really.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even answer that.
Because it's possible, had those people had a better childhood and faced some trauma as an adult after their brains had developed, they would have risen past that trauma and still been great members of their community. So those are the things some of the things that trip me up in relation to the idea of God.
Well, I think this is something you should study a little bit more.
Uh-oh.
Because Because it's easy for me to say that. It's easy for me to say that this person should pull themselves by their bootstraps.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't have, and a lot of it stems from, well, these people probably didn't have any fathers in their lives, right? And if they did have fathers, they may not have been good fathers, and so their view of God is very distorted. And I kind of get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that that's what it really is.
Right, but they would be forgiven for thinking that based on the information they have available.
Well, it's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
It's understandable. I mean, if they didn't know right from wrong, if they weren't taught right from wrong, of course they're going to act out like that. Most likely, if a person is sadistic, most likely they were perpetrated upon.
Yeah.
Earlier in life. So it's a vicious cycle. Or maybe they were exposed to things, images of women and children being hurt like that, or witnessed it in person, that, I don't know, triggered something in their brain. Whatever it is, I don't know how that all works. But, it's a vicious cycle.
Yes, absolutely. But
anyway,
we know that I question God because of that stuff. But
a lot of it is not his fault.
Right, but could God stop sadistic parents?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. We have certain expectations of what God can and can't do. Yes, he could probably stop it, but he doesn't work on our clock. He doesn't work the way that we work. So to expect God to stop things at any moment, I think, is unrealistic.
Let me give you a hypothetical scenario. I know that there is a 2-year-old who is being beaten and molested by both of their parents. And I know where this kid lives, all the details, and I have footage of it. And I say to you, well, I know about this, babes, but you know what? Let's not contact the cops because this will help the child become a better adult, or at least that's what I'm hoping for. Does that make me a horrible person for choosing not to step in?
It makes you an irresponsible person.
Mm.
Maybe you're not horrible, but it makes you a very irresponsible person for not doing it. And I think that that a person who doesn't do something like that is a part of the problem.
And I understand that the counter argument to that would be, yes, but God works in his own way and God knows things that we don't. But I would also make the counter argument to that would be, yes, but God also understands that not every kid is strong enough to make it through this. And so for these kids, the adversity won't make them stronger. It'll just make them collapse sooner. And for those kids, he maybe should step in.
Well, I think God can use people to step in, but at the same time, I think if a person is not stepping in just because they don't want to get involved, I think it could be very if God prompts somebody to step in and they don't get involved, it's irresponsible.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He uses people to do those kinds of things.
Oh. Well, couldn't God use the weather? So if I'm molesting my kid and I go out to the store, couldn't God just send like a lightning bolt down from heaven or up from hell or whatever and electrocute me?
Up from hell?
Okay, down from heaven and electrocute me as I'm going into the store so my kid will no longer be sexually abused? I
don't know, possibly. God can do anything he wants to.
See, that's a way of stepping in.
But like I said, Bubs, he may not do. He may use somebody else to do it. Not just like send a lightning bolt or a snowstorm to avert somebody to use as an aversion, right? Or a diversion.
Okay.
Diversion, to use as a diversion so that the person doesn't hurt the kid. I think he uses people.
But sometimes those people come too late. and that kid's psychology is already too messed up.
Well, that's why that person has to, if God prompts that person, if he puts it in that person's heart to help out and they don't do it, it's disobedience.
Oh.
So it's on the person.
Wow.
It's not on God, it's on the person, because if the person has been prompted by God to do something and they do not act, that's deliberate disobedience.
Let's go to politics, and I'm going to bring this back around real quick.
Oh, no.
Hold on. As we know, I hate Joe Biden and Trump. And honestly, if it's the two of them running next year, I'm probably just going to stay home and not vote in the presidential election. I mean, I'm going to stay home anyway, because you can vote by ballot in the state of Oregon, but you know what I mean. But I have been feeling the need to volunteer for the Marianne Williamson campaign.
I thought we talked about this already.
We did, but we didn't come to a conclusion, and we didn't look at it in the eyes of God. Do you think that God might be trying to say to Rick, you should really get involved with this campaign? Yes, I know it's going to be a losing campaign, but that's not an excuse. I want your ass to volunteer for Marianne Williamson.
You think he would say that to you?
Yes.
No.
Why not?
Well, actually, I don't know, Bubs, because number one, you don't believe in God. Number two, I can't speak for God for you.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's telling you to do it. He probably isn't telling you to do it.
But I don't not believe in God. Like, saying I don't believe in God makes it sound like I'm an atheist.
Okay, so you're questioning the belief in God, but you're not exactly married to the idea that God doesn't exist.
Right. I could be convinced.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is I don't know if God's telling you to do it.
But he might be.
You have to ask him yourself.
Okay.
I can't answer that for you.
Because it does keep coming up in my mind, like, I should reach out and try to volunteer on the local level of this campaign, but even though I don't think she has a snowball's chance in hell.
But having said that, yeah. I don't know that God would be rooting for Marianne Williamson. Now, that's my opinion. And I don't know that he would ask you to vote for someone that he wouldn't want in office. That's
right, but God also made me a politically left of center person for a reason.
No, actually, you chose to be that way. He didn't make you that way.
I chose to be that way based on the brain and the experiences that came up because of God.
No, you chose to be that way because the people around you were reading liberal books and you were taught by liberal teachers because you thought that the liberal politics was great.
Well, wait a second. There's plenty of people who've been taught by liberal teachers who have turned against them and become super MAGA Republicans. That could happen to me too, but based on the way that God designed me to look at things, I perceived liberalism is, for the most part, a good philosophy. So I don't necessarily know that God is or isn't in favor of Marianne Williamson, but he might be in favor of me being in favor of Marianne Williamson.
I don't know if I can get on board with that. Because he may have designed the way that you think, but if you think of liberalism in general, it's very it's very anti-God and pro-government. So that's where I really draw the line here.
Well, wait a second. Martin Luther King was pro-God, and yes, I know that he was a Republican for his time, but based on the speeches that we've listened to, politically on a lot of things, not everything, and I know I've said this before, he would probably land more in the camp of Bernie or Marianne than Trump or, DeSantis.
Yeah, I don't know.
At least on social issues.
I can't answer for Martin Luther King Jr.
But you know what I'm trying to say, though.
I get it.
I
just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if there's a God or if God is political. God might be apolitical, but I don't necessarily believe that. And God might be a socialist for all.
I'm going to say this.
Go ahead.
There are a lot of political things that I believe in that are how do I explain it? That coincide biblically is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But there are some that do not coincide biblically, and he does. The Bible does touch on political issues, as far as showing respect to people in office. But if they are not, if they are not for, it does talk about the law of the land, and what you should do if there's somebody who is put in office, things like that. But there are some things politically that is unbiblical. So as far as the Marianne Williamson thing, I don't know if God wants you to campaign for her. Maybe he doesn't want you to campaign for her.
What would be the best way? How would you determine that? Whether God wants me to do something or not?
Like I said, you have to ask him. I don't know.
What if I ask God and God says, yeah, Rick, why do you think I've been constantly bombarding you with messages, bro? Go on, volunteer for Marianne.
Would that really be God telling you that, or would that be the mind of Rick?
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. You're telling me to ask. Well, if I ask and that's the answer I get back,
Well, what
do I do with that?
I can't determine that for you.
Okay.
I can't be the one to tell you that that's what I'm not a prophet.
Yes.
I'm not a prophetess, and I'm not going to claim that I am prophetic because I'm not. So I can't be the one to answer that for you.
Yeah, and it's dual thoughts because, again, I feel compelled to volunteer for her campaign, and I also feel like in the end it's not going to matter. She's still going to lose, but I need to do it regardless of the outcome. I
personally think you should wait on this. I don't think you should go out and campaign and rah Marianne, because what if it turns out that she's not going to run?
No, she's announced.
Oh, okay. Well, what if it turns out that it isn't going to work out? I don't know. I would just wait on it. Honestly.
Here's a philosophical question: should we always take the side of somebody who we feel is going to win, or should we take the side of people, even if we believe they're going to lose? Should we take the side of somebody who we feel they're not going to win this fight, but it's the right thing to do morally?
I have no idea. I don't know, honestly. And
I feel that Marianne Williamson, she might have some nutty beliefs, but she feels a lot closer to me politically and morally, at least from what I've heard, than the Democratic establishment or the Republicans, obviously. So what do I do in a situation like that?
I don't think you should do anything right now. I mean, that's just my opinion. I honestly think you should wait on it. It is only March of 2023.
That's true. So we can revisit
really early.
This.
It's very early. It's the year isn't even over yet.
Yes.
We're not even halfway there.
So, but you'll still love me if I volunteer for Marianne?
I guess. If nothing happens and we're still together, I suppose.
But you're not going to come out.
No.
To her campaign.
No, I do not support Marianne Williamson. I don't even know what her policies are.
So you should check into them. Maybe you'd agree with some of them.
No.
I mean, in fairness, I only really heard the interview she did with Crystal Kyle and Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm just going to wait and see, what happens, when it gets closer to the primaries.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are coming out and saying that they're running. And, some people may bow out before then, and some people may continue until after the primaries.
My thought is I would vote for a half-baked potato over Joe Biden in the primaries. If I have that choice.
Did we talk about the bus driver sounding like Joe Biden yesterday? I think we did. Right?
We did mention that, yes.
No, he seemed very alert.
I wanted to ask him what he thought of Scranton, Pennsylvania.
I'm glad you didn't. I would have shut that down really quickly.
Yes.
Like, don't do that. This is not the time. I have a feeling that he wouldn't be a Joe Biden person.
I don't know.
But what do I know? Yeah, he seemed pretty alert, and he seemed like his brain was still working.
I often do wonder to myself, how is it that Portland is supposedly so liberal, but I keep running into all the conservatives?
I think it is. What about that demonstration happening yesterday?
I'm not saying that it isn't, but I'm saying it's interesting that how many conservatives I know.
Yeah, but you don't know a lot. You just know a handful. It's not like the whole the whole city of Portland. You only know I almost said their names.
That's okay. Don't do that.
You only know the one that you have Mexican food with, myself, the guy who is very athletic and talks way too much.
Yes.
And is very opinionated. There's only a handful of us. If you look at all the policies in Portland, Oregon, it's very, very liberal. And we've got Tina Kotek as governor, who's probably maybe even far left, more far left than Kate Brown.
Nice.
So that's only a handful of conservatives that you know.
Well, good.
It doesn't mean the whole population of Portland.
I'm glad to hear that, babes. Oh, what was that for?
Ow,
Why did you do that to me, babes?
I wanted to see if you were there.
Hey,
ow, that hurt.
What's here? Hey, are you here? Hey, where are you? Are you here?
Bubs.
Well, are we gonna have a tickle truce?
I meant to say I know you're there physically. I just wanted to make sure you were there mentally.
Hey, are you competent mentally? Hey, are you here mentally?
Bubs.
What? We gonna have a truce, or are we gonna tickle some more? Oh, okay.
I'm not tickling you. I'm pinching your ear. Ow!
We gonna have a truce?
Where's your nose? Hold on. Give me your nose.
Give me.
Bub, don't pinch me there.
Either then give me a kiss and once called it out.
Don't pinch me there. Ow. Okay.
All right, we having a truce?
Yeah.
All right, give me a kiss then. Oh, yeah.
Bubs, stop it. Oh. Bubs.
What?
Behave, boy.
I am. You were the one who started it, babe, so I was just talking to you.
You behave now. Be good, boy.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, and we found out this morning that I'm no longer allowed to ask you questions.
I never said that.
Oh, okay.
No, I never. I think I need to explain this. I've been noticing this for a while now, and it just started to really irritate me.
What's
that
up?
Every time I would say statements like, like I was talking about my niece this morning, and I said, yeah, when she was a baby, her parents used to, I guess there is a way to teach babies sign language. So if they want something, they can sign to them. And no, my niece is not deaf. And then he kept, and every time I would kind of give more details, he would question everything that I said when all I wanted to do was make a statement. I mean, he would question the way that I made if I ever made chocolate chip cookies.
Well, I buy chocolate chip cookies, but
yeah,
but babes,
you can make them.
I'm sure you can.
Yes,
babes.
Yeah.
Doesn't that show that I'm engaged and I want to know more about what we're discussing?
You're engaged, but it just seems like, it's your way or the highway.
No, I want to know stuff, babes.
I mean, this is how I perceive it.
Go
Maybe
ahead.
I'm completely wrong about it. It just seems like every time I would make statements like that or tell a story, automatically there's a comment or a question.
Interesting.
And it's kind of annoying.
Uh-oh.
Just wanted to tell you.
Next time you say something that's like really in depth and requires more explanation, I'll just be like, "Oh, that's nice, honey."
No.
So, anyways.
No. You can't ask questions, but it seemed like the questions you ask is something to the effect of, "Well, couldn't they do it differently?"
Yeah, I was wondering that because wouldn't it make more sense to try to focus on her speech because he's going to be using that a lot longer?
They were teaching her speech. Yes, okay. Of course they were teaching her speech. But she learned how to give them signals if she didn't want to talk. She knows how to talk, obviously. She's, she's in her late teens now.
Nice.
But when she was a baby, she would just instead of crying all the time, she would let them know by signing when she got a little bit older, like maybe a year old or something. Oh, I want some milk, or I want some food, or I want more food.
Interesting.
That's all I was saying, and then you're like,
oh my goodness. But either I can't understand you, girl.
No, that was just making fun of the I can't understand you guys. You're like,
Oh my goodness.
as he moves a hand.
Oh my goodness. Well, I love you, babes, and that seems wildly inappropriate, that language, but
Hey, you're the one who made it up.
I'm sure I did.
Yes, you did. And you're laughing at it.
Well, babes, I'm still going to ask questions.
I know. I understand that.
Nice.
I never said that you didn't have to. I just meant that not everything requires a comment or a question.
Oh.
That's all I'm trying to say.
But most things do.
No?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I love you. Jaylo.
I love you too.
Yes,
bud.
I've been reading another book called Kate Remembered.
You just started, right?
Yes. By A. Scott Berg. He's written a biography on Charles Lindbergh that I haven't read. Apparently, he also did a book on Sam Goldwyn that's supposed to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
And in the early 80s, he struck up a friendship with Katharine Hepburn. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of about what was going on in his life and her life. It's not a full-on biography, but it's, he talks about how he's still working on the Goldwyn book. She would tell him certain things. And she had this weird relationship with Irene Selznick to where they were kind of competitors, but also friends. There's an interesting story about how he wanted to interview Irving Berlin for his Samuel Goldwyn book, right? Mm-hmm. And Berlin didn't want to do the interview. Katharine Hepburn had always asked, is there anything I can do to help you with this book? One day he tells her, I would love to interview Irving Berlin. I got him on the phone once, and all he said was, I don't want to be interviewed, and he hung up the phone. Mm-hmm. And Berlin is around 100 years old, and he's really isolated himself.
Oh, wow.
So a couple of days later, Berg goes back to Katharine Hepburn's house, and she says, I had a lovely day today. Mm-hmm. I went out. I go to Irving Berlin's house to try to talk to him to get you to do an interview. And his maid answered. She didn't want to let me in, but Berlin overheard my voice, came downstairs. He's 100 years old, and he's still very charming. This is what she's telling him.
Yeah.
And we sat down and we talked for 3 hours. And it was amazing experience.
Wow.
So Berg is like, oh, great. So he's going to do the interview. And she says, no, he's not going to do the interview for your book, but I tried. Like a month later, he goes back to Katharine Hepburn's house and she says, I went back to Irving Berlin's house today and it was even better than the first time.
Wow.
He comes downstairs and we talked for 3 hours. It was one of the best conversations I ever had. And so Berg's like, so he's going to do the interview for my book? And she says, no, he's not going to do that.
Well, I tried.
Yes.
Well, I get. It sounds like she has a way of really charming people.
There's a great interview that she did on the Dick Cavett show back in the 1970s that I'd love to play for you sometime.
And how old is she then?
She's probably, I'm guessing, late 60s.
Wow.
Yeah, she was almost 100 when she passed away. She was 96.
I remember when she was on Golden Pond.
Yes.
And by then, didn't she say she had Parkinson's?
She had it at some point near the end of her life. I don't know if she had it by the time they were shooting that movie, though.
Wow. Yeah.
I remember watching Conan O'Brien one night with my sister.
Yeah.
This goes to show you how long ago this was. This was maybe 94 or 95.
Wow.
And they did a joke about Katharine Hepburn having Parkinson's disease.
Yeah.
I think what they did is these celebrity dolls.
Oh, yeah?
And they pull out the Katharine Hepburn one and it's shaking all over the place.
Oh, my goodness.
My sister thought that was like really over the line.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. She was pretty shocked, huh?
Mm-hmm. We're just at the point in the book, babes, and it's called Kate Remembered, where she's opening up about Spencer Tracy, and she just finished talking about the making of Woman of the Year.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Which we will talk about in a while.
Because we ended up watching that movie last night.
And it was very good.
Yes,
but we'll talk about it in a while.
We'll call this episode Jaylo of the Year, maybe.
Huh?
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Well, I wasn't Jaylo of the year, but when I was a sophomore in high school, I was student of the week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, good.
So that was kind of interesting. Yeah, my VI teacher nominated me for student of the week.
Yeah, I keep showing up and see what happens.
What?
I keep showing up and I think see what happens.
Oh my goodness.
Was that the fake VI teacher?
The fake one, yeah.
Okay.
I still can't believe it.
Ah.
I still can't believe it. I wish my mom would have found out sooner and I would have gotten another one.
What happens if you're student of the week?
I think people just recognize you as student of the week. Like, I didn't have any like fanfare or things in my honor or anything.
Yeah.
Some people were chosen as student of the week.
Nice.
So I thought it was kind of fun.
That's good, babes.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying the book on Katharine Hepburn.
Very good.
Yes.
Audrey, I keep getting her mixed up with Audrey Hepburn because they weren't even related.
No. Katharine Hepburn, by the way, was a big, big lib, which I knew before reading this book.
I knew that too.
Oh, okay, good.
I already knew that.
Nice.
Yeah. But Audrey Hepburn, the way that she talked, she kind of reminded me of the way that Katharine Hepburn talked.
I don't think they sound
a little bit, maybe slightly, but Katharine Hepburn did have a way of talking. Like, you told me that she was from a rich neighborhood.
Yeah, they both grew up with money.
Yeah, and the way that she kind of had like a posh, if you can call it that, way of talking.
If they had made an erotic film back in the day, it could have been called Hepburn on Hepburn.
Oh, jeez.
So you're laughing?
Okay, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Wow. You're like, I kill me.
But you started laughing too. You said it was good, so.
It was. That one was pretty funny.
Thank you, babes. Thank you.
Did you laugh at your jokes even when you were younger?
Of course. It's probably worse back then.
Probably.
Yes.
I'd probably be like, oh, I gotta get the Rotten Tomatoes.
Sometimes, babes, I would just be going out on throughout my day and I just start cracking up laughing. I'm sure the people around me thought I was demented.
Probably. I'm glad you're not, though.
Thank you there, Jaylo.
I do think it's kind of cute in a dorky sort of way that you laugh at your own jokes. It's charming.
Yeah. It talked about, so we don't know a lot about Spencer Tracy in the book so far. There's a few things coming up. So they made 9 movies together. He was born in April of 1900 in a Catholic family. He discovered
1900.
Yep, he discovered a love of acting in college, and got married. Had a son. They find out a year later that the kid is deaf. Spencer Tracy blames it on himself. Becomes a notorious womanizer in Hollywood, and then the two of them get together. The author says that there was a couple reasons for them not, getting married. One was his wife didn't grant a divorce because they were Catholic, but also he says that Katharine Hepburn didn't need to be married to him. Like, she liked having her own space and privacy.
So he still went on cheating on his wife and for years and years?
The narrative is, and again, I haven't read the rest of the book and I don't know all the details, is that they were basically an item from the time they made Woman of the Year until his death, a couple weeks after finishing shooting Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But that it was an open relationship.
Wow.
There's a book called Portraits of a Revolution, and it talks about all the movies nominated for Best Picture from 1967. One of them being Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And the author in that book, was it Mark Harris? I read the book over 10 years ago, but he said something like the public perception was that Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy were together all this time and that they were it and they were for each other. But he said that privately it was known around Hollywood that Katharine Hepburn was bisexual and slept with a lot of people, and so did Spencer Tracy. At least that's the way I'm remembering it said in the book, but the author didn't go into a lot of details about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow, that's interesting.
I bet she would have been cool to know and hang out with. Katharine Hepburn.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't trust her to make you eggs, though.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I don't trust anybody to make me eggs, so that's not really an issue with her.
Oh no, not with her, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Not with her in real life, but her character.
Yeah. You said this morning that you remembered something about the Motown exhibit that we forgot to mention here.
Oh yeah. So I did not know going into this that most of the Motown artists were living close to each other, because there was a screen where there was an audio interview with Smokey Robinson, and he was talking about the artists that were living not too far from each other.
I just thought that was common knowledge.
But I didn't know that.
Oh.
Shall we?
That's okay. I forgive you.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I kind of felt like your friend could have given the exhibit. Well, not given the exhibit, but what do you call it? He seemed like he knew a lot about Motown.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I mean, what he knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hear you with that one.
Mm-hmm.
But we both know a lot about Motown as well.
That's true.
And part of the reason we wanted that tour is so somebody could describe to us what we were seeing.
I thought it was cool that there was a part in the exhibit about Stax Records.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would like to see an exhibit just on them.
I know. Yeah. A lot of people came out of Stax.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know what I did read about too is the Brill Building.
Yeah, I've heard about that too. That's where all the publishers were, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good stuff, babes.
Yeah, good stuff.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we move on to the movies?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. We come home last night. We do this. Oh, you know what? Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me a piece of Filipino candy.
I don't know what it was called. And I gave you a heads up. I said, look, I want, if you want to take these candies, and if you like them, because I had 2 left over, and I had 3 when they were given to me, and I tried one of them and I didn't like it, and I don't know what they're called, unfortunately.
They were this purple thing. It tasted like a really bad gummy. I ended up spitting it out into Alana's garbage.
It was like a milky type of taste, and I didn't like it either. And I said, and I gave you a heads up, and I said, you may not like it because I didn't like it, and if you like it, then I'll give you the other one. But I think I might just throw the other one out because it's just not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yes.
It was gross.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know that was between the first and second movie, but I thought I should mention it here quickly.
Yeah, I understand. So I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
But I kind of figured that you may not like it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would never give you something that I didn't like.
Well,
without
giving me the heads up.
Without giving you the heads up, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we sit down, or lie down rather,
mm-hmm.
and start watching a movie called Hoosiers, which a lot of people love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be honest. In a thumbs up, thumbs down world, it gets a thumbs down from me.
I would too, and really, you met a lot of people that love this movie?
Oh yeah, this movie, if you Google lists of like the best sports movies ever made, this is usually not number 1, but it ranks pretty high on most people's lists.
I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
I didn't get it at all. I mean, when I showed you, and granted, this is baseball movies, A League of Their Own and The Sandlot.
Yeah.
Those I felt were more beloved than Hoosiers, but...
To me. And I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but it bears repeating since you haven't seen it. The best sports movie ever made, without question, is Raging Bull.
Mm.
There's no other comparison. Nothing comes even close in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But in Hoosiers, usually, again, it's in the top, let's say 10. Usually not number 1 on most people's list, but still, that's pretty high praise.
Yeah, and you like the baseball movies that I showed you.
I did.
Yeah, and I'm glad I showed you those because those are movies I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that, so I don't believe I watched this movie. It's called Field of Dreams. It's a basketball movie, or baseball movie, I'm sorry. I heard that was a really good movie.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's based on a true story.
I did not know that.
I believe it is.
Oh.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Well, good.
And I got that mixed up with Hoop Dreams, which is a documentary that we saw on basketball.
I've seen hoop dreams deflate. I've seen hoop dreams deflate like a true fiend's weight, as Sean Carter might say.
Uh-oh.
And I fucked up that line, but what else am I gonna do, babes?
I don't know, Bubs.
I don't know, babes.
You always do that.
I hate listening back to these sometimes and hearing how atrocious my speaking voice is or what I said is incorrect.
I don't like listening to my recordings either because I listen and it's like I either talk too fast or I didn't get out what I said articulately.
Yeah.
I just didn't do a good job of articulating what I said, or I sounded really dumb. You know,
it sounds like the rantings of a couple crazy people.
Well, I do not like how I sound on recordings.
I like the way you sound. Maybe not some of your ideas, but
yes, you said that before.
I heard you, Bob.
I personally think you sound great, but
thank you. But
on recording,
when I mix up my words, and sometimes because I'm dyslexic, when I'm speaking fast, that happens more often. My thought doesn't come out clearly.
But that's a part of you, though.
That's true.
I don't like it sometimes. Like sometimes I have to remind myself to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like my sister can talk a mile a minute.
Younger or older, or
Younger
both?
one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I talked to her on the phone one day.
Yeah, she can talk a mile a minute sometimes.
Yes. Oh, good.
Yeah, and I say that affectionately, but
yeah,
she does.
Maybe you two should do a podcast together.
I don't think it's going to happen.
You'll be like,
because it's going to turn into her podcast.
Yeah, it'll be like, hi, young sis, what you got to say? And then 4 hours later, it'll be like, well, that was really interesting. We got to go. See you next week. Bye-bye.
That'd be funny.
Yes. Thank you,
yeah,
babes.
but I have a feeling it's going to become her podcast instead of mine.
Yes.
It's like, you know what? Okay, I think I'm just going to let you do this one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What?
I don't know.
Well.
Anyways, Hoosiers. I don't think we've really covered it yet. Do you want me to, or would you like to?
Go ahead and cover as much as you want to, because it was pretty bad. But go on.
Yeah, I'm not going to cover a lot. Basically, Gene Hackman gets hired to move to the small town in Indiana and become a basketball coach / teach at the high school. Now, he was pretty successful in that field, but a few years earlier, he choked out a student. So he comes with some baggage.
He didn't choke him out. I think he punched him.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
Yeah.
The team starts to become successful, but people don't like a lot of what Hackman is bringing to the table. However, players stand up for him. He's allowed to keep his job. And he decides... Now, he knows the principal of the school. I don't think he's from this town. I'll be honest, I fell asleep through part of the movie.
And he denied it.
But he knows people in this town.
Mm-hmm.
And he decides... Well, who else would be responsible to help lead this team and guide these young men? Oh, I know. Let's go to the town drunk, played by Dennis Hopper.
Mm-hmm.
So Hopper's now helping him out with the team.
He was a kind of a funny character.
Yeah. And falls off the wagon a couple of times. The last time really bad to where he has to go to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
The team makes the state championship and win. And that's kind of the end of the movie.
It wasn't that great.
No.
And then let's talk about the parts we didn't get, because there's so many.
Yes.
I don't know. So this one lady who's an older lady, and it sounds like Gene Hackman's character just moved to Indiana not that long before.
Exactly. He moves there for the job.
Yeah, he moves there for the job. And this older lady's like, okay, my house on Sunday, supper time.
See, This is actually where you and I disagree. To me, I found that somewhat believable, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
A lot of small towns, the big social events is a sports thing.
Yeah.
And it's possible that that old lady had grandkids who were going to be on the basketball team, or she just liked following them. And this was before the town really knew about his past or his teaching methods. So she could be looking at like, oh, I know this new guy is here and he's going to coach our team.
Mm-hmm.
So why not invite him over?
Yeah.
I could believe that.
Okay.
But I understand why you might take some umbrage with it.
Well, I'm just confused because I'm like, well, you just met this man. Why would you invite him over to your house? He could be a crazy person.
Yeah, but she sees it like this is a new basketball coach. I want to get to know him.
Also,
if it was a big town, I'd have more of an issue with it.
Yeah, also, you got Dennis Hopper, who is the father of this kid that's doing really good on his team.
Yep.
And the kid goes to see him in the hospital, and he's like, the father's apologizing, like, I'm sorry, and he's like, oh, don't worry, we're going to live in a house, and you're going to get through this.
Now, remember, Dennis Hopper's character fell off the wagon hard when things were going really good for him.
Uh-huh.
So how is he just going to handle day-to-day stuff?
Yep.
And the son didn't believe in his dad to the point where after class one day, he tells Gene Hackman, I don't think my dad should be involved with this team.
Uh-huh.
So why suddenly now does he believe in his father since his dad has disappointed him again?
And he even apologized to the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. And, why was the kid thinking, oh, we're going to live in a house? Because he's just a kid.
Exactly.
The dad is supposed to be the one to provide for him. He's not going to kind of become a basketball star overnight and pay for all that. Well,
and maybe he will, but why would he want to be living with his alcoholic dad?
Exactly. It's just an unstable environment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's the one I don't get.
Tell me.
So he's talking to young Barbara Hershey.
Yeah.
Who's the daughter of that older woman. And they're talking to each other, and it's pretty clear that he likes her, she likes him. Well, he's telling her about his past where...
Gene Hackman is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman's telling her about he got suspended for hitting some kid in the jaw. And he wasn't... It sounded to me like he wasn't going to talk about it, and then he did.
Exactly.
I don't quite understand it. And then they start kissing after what he just said.
Yeah.
If I'm her, I'm going to be like, I'm going to stay away from this guy. This guy is a crazy mess. Why would I want to ever be involved with him? And they start kissing each other. It's like, I'm thinking, is she thinking, ooh, that sounds great. He's a strong guy. He just punched a kid in the jaw.
Yep. He really showed what a man he is.
Right. So I don't get why they got involved with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. I don't understand why she got involved with him.
This movie does not work for us.
No, it does, and I don't believe that this movie would really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't think it really, like, holds true to how Indianans are really like.
I wouldn't know. I've never been to
know.
Indiana, and none of my friends are from there.
No, I don't know either. I don't know anyone from
But I am dyslexic, and I have a friend from India, so maybe I could say he's from Indiana.
Well, there's one person that we've met that's from Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
One of the people that went to our sporting events.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he went skiing with us.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Nice.
But I don't know anyone from there, and I don't know. That movie just was not a good basketball movie at all.
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't see why this is beloved,
but
it is, and it did not work for us.
A better basketball movie would be Love and Basketball.
That's good. Hoop Dreams is also good if you want a documentary version that's well done. Yeah. But our movie night was saved.
It was saved.
Yes.
because we watched, and I'm gonna explain this one.
Yes.
We watched a movie with Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy, the famous couple.
Their first film together.
Woman of the Year. And they did they get together around that time?
They got together during the making of this movie.
Okay. No wonder why they had good chemistry.
Mm-hmm. When it starts out, they're separated. By the end of it, they're kind of a couple. And they don't know if this is just going to be a fling or if they're going to be together for the rest of their life.
Is that what they said in the book?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, go ahead.
So, it's about this woman named Tess Harding. She is a news reporter. And I think they meet each other at this... Was it a baseball game? I forgot what it was.
No. They work at the same newspaper.
Okay.
And Spencer Tracy, I guess, writes some article kind of bashing Tess in a kind of funny way.
Yeah.
But the boss doesn't like his reporters warring with each other, so he calls them both into the office and basically says, kiss and make up.
Right.
And then he takes her out to a baseball game.
Yeah, and all this is going on, but he notices right away that her attention is elsewhere. People want to talk to her about what she reports on, and she's getting news stories and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But Sam, I forgot what his last name is. Sam Craig, yeah. Sam Craig, who's Spencer Tracy's character, falls in love with Tess Harding and asks her to marry him, and they get married. But things start to get really weird because on the night that they are supposed to be husband and wife, there's all these people in their bedroom, and I guess their bedroom is really big, right?
That's what it looked like.
And they move into her apartment.
Yeah.
Go on, please.
So she doesn't really see the need to slow down even on their wedding night. And if you remember, even before then, right after they got married, the person officiating the ceremony wanted to do a toast. And he breaks out the, alcohol, but she's off hearing about some other dude because she's, a big fancy reporter. And all he is a sports reporter. So they move into her place. The thing with the wedding night happens where all the people are in their bedroom. He invites his friends over to the bedroom. And eventually they all leave. I don't want to give everything away.
And then somehow it's morning and...
Well, it's a little bit later in the movie. But we can skip forward because we don't want to give everything away.
Yeah. So a lot of things happen. She adopts this refugee kid that... I don't remember where he's from. He speaks Spanish. And he's 6 years old.
That's my guess.
Around that age. And he's thinking that she's pregnant, and he wants to take care of her. He's thinking she's pregnant. By this time, he's very upset. And it's all coming down. She gets a Woman of the Year award, and she's...
So, just to contextualize it a little bit, she makes him breakfast in bed. They had a great night the night before, just the two of them. And I'm also thinking that she's going to reveal that she's pregnant.
I thought so too.
She's like, would you like another kid?
Would you have a child?
And she says yes. And she says, well, the deed's already been done.
Like, it's already been done.
He's like, you should be off your feet. You need to go to the hospital. She explains that she doesn't need to. He says that he really wants a boy. And Katharine responds with, oh, good, it is a boy. He's a little bit shocked, and so are we as the audience. She goes in, brings in the refugee kid, and I love it when she says something to the effect of, Sam, you're going to love him. He's seen two baseball games already, and once he learns how to speak English, I'm sure the two of you are going to have a fun time bonding over that.
And then she said something like, well, the one idiot, and I think she was doing a story on, was it refugees or something?
Yes.
Refugee kids?
Because he's a refugee kid.
And then she's like, and one idiot told me to choose the first one, and so that's what I did.
Now, slightly after that, she wins the Woman of the Year award.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And so she's gone. Alma, the maid, is not going to be there to watch the child because she's going to the same award ceremony. And so he takes the little boy, Chris, and says, okay, we're going to go out. So he takes Chris to this Was it an adoption agency?
It was the agency that was housing the other kids from his country, and he was being returned by Spencer Tracy.
Right. And so, you know, and he just felt like she did this behind his back,
Mhm.
which I totally understand why he would be upset.
Yes.
So all this is happening. She comes back home. There's all these men taking pictures of what she does, and then she realizes that both Sam and Chris are gone.
Yep.
She finds out that Chris is at the adoption agency. She talks to him in Spanish, and she finds out that he doesn't want to go with them.
By the way, there are no subtitles, so we pick this up by the fact that Chris walks away from her.
Yeah. And she's surprised because she's thinking, oh, he was all for this. Well, Sam and her obviously have separated, and he moves into his apartment.
She goes to watch her aunt, who is the sister of her mom that died during childbirth, get married to her dad.
Her what?
Yes.
Wait. I thought it was a maid.
No, it was her aunt.
Okay, so her aunt that what? I'm confused.
Okay, so the aunt is her mom's sister.
Yeah.
In the movie, Katharine Hepburn's mom, I believe it's explained earlier, her mom died during childbirth. Mm-hmm. So the aunt and the father raised her. And then they fall in love when they're older and get married. And part of the reason they realized that they needed to be together was the example that she and Sam set. Because the dad didn't think that anybody could ever love her because of how crazy she is. But when he saw that Sam did, he realized that he loved the aunt and they could get married.
That's still a little bit weird.
It is, but if you come from a family where there's kissing cousins and all sorts of stuff like that, it's out there, but it ain't that far out there.
I think it's still kind of strange.
Yes, I would agree, but I could roll with it.
Okay.
Yes.
But, yeah. What I thought was interesting what she said is, because she was saying, well, you know, what did she say about marriage?
I don't know. You just said it was interesting.
I forgot what it was, but it.
Are you talking about the aunt or Katharine?
The aunt.
Okay, the aunt was basically. I'm assuming what you're talking about is the scene where she's about to walk down the aisle.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it's her and Katharine Hepburn alone. She said something like, the awards I made during my life were nice, but I've always wanted to be married, or something to that effect.
I always wanted to be a wife, yeah.
They get married, and Katharine Hepburn is watching this and realizing that she needs to give things with Sam another shot.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes to his home near the beach now. And he's asleep. She lets herself in, goes to the kitchen, and starts making breakfast. And
she's reading the recipe, and it says, separate 2 eggs, and it's a funny scene. Like, she puts 2 eggs on a plate.
Yeah, she cracks them open, and she runs it through...
a sieve or a sifter.
Yeah, not a sifter, but like... a
tea kettle.
Well, yeah, she puts it in a tea kettle, I believe. That's what it looked like. And she tries to, like, sieve the eggs.
Yeah.
Spencer Tracy wakes up because of all the commotion, and he just sits down at the table and is noticing all the stuff going on.
Oh, and then the coffee in the pot is boiling over.
Yes, and at one point she just says, "Make it stop, Sam." He turns everything off. There's a back and forth between them. He doesn't believe her. And he says, why do you always have to do things to an extreme? You don't have to be, what's his character's last name?
He says you don't have to be Tess Harding. Why can't you be Tess Harding Craig?
Yeah, you don't have to be Tess. You either want to be Tess Harding or you want to be Mrs. Craig. Why can't you be Tess Harding Craig?
Yeah.
Basically saying, you can still work and do your thing, but maybe don't always do your thing, and sometimes we can do our thing.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Leave some time for me.
Yeah. Her assistant comes over.
Gerald.
And Sam and Gerald go out to his balcony to talk. You hear something bad. What does Sam say?
Well, he goes, hey, don't you know that you have something on Friday, this meeting or whatever it is?
No, you're supposed to go and christen a ship.
Yeah. And then he goes outside with Gerald and pushes him off of the...
Sam goes outside with Gerald.
Yeah, Sam goes outside with Gerald and pushes him off of the balcony.
Comes back in and says, I just christened Gerald. They kiss.
And launch Gerald.
Or launch Gerald.
And it sounded like glass breaking.
Yes. And the movie ends.
It was a great movie.
I really enjoyed this film. I'd give it a strong 8.
And I said I would give it a strong 8 too.
Yes. This is a definite thumbs up for me.
One of my favorite Katharine Hepburn movies.
I want to watch more of her films. It'd be cool to do a Katharine Hepburn weekend sometime.
Oh yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do it without the shaking, but still.
Oh my.
Yeah.
When she's still young and vibrant.
Yes.
Yes.
I like this film a lot.
I did too.
And I'm curious.
Yep.
This came out fairly early on during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think this film says about women having to make their own way in the world?
Well, I think this is a real gutsy movie because you didn't hear about that in the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Or 50s, really. A lot of women were housewives. A lot of men were the sole providers of the family. And not that being a homemaker and a housewife was bad. It's just that was a part of the culture.
Well, yes, and
Uh-huh.
it's true that there were a lot more housewives, but during World War II, more women had to go into the workplace,
Right?
Because men were going off into war.
True, yeah, because they wanted to make their own money.
Yeah, and
Right.
They just needed things to do because...
Sorry, I yawned. That
That's
probably
okay.
didn't sound right.
That's okay, babes.
Okay.
Because their guys were gone.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
What was your question?
My question is, what does this say about women making it in the world?
Well, you know how they say that there are women that want to have it all and everything, that the house, the children, and the husband, and the work, and all that. And I think to me, in some ways, having it all doesn't mean having a good paying job. It doesn't mean that all the time.
Mm.
And it also doesn't mean notoriety, and it also doesn't mean having so many events that you can't really count them, or having an assistant. And maybe this has forced what's her name, Tess, to really think about her life and think about what's more important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Were you surprised how far Spencer Tracy was willing to go with Katharine Hepburn in this movie? Because he puts up with a lot of stuff that you wouldn't imagine a man from that era dealing with.
I was very surprised.
Yeah.
Because all he wanted to do was to be with her and get to know her, but he just couldn't figure her out.
Yeah.
He just knew that he loved her, but he couldn't figure her out. And I can feel his frustration.
I could too.
Yeah. And rightfully so.
He's really good in this movie.
He's very good.
They both are. And you can tell why people like them as an on-screen couple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good together.
Yes. Would you recommend this movie to your family? If so, what do you say about it?
Some really old stars are in this movie. No, they're dead now.
What's this movie? I get you.
No, I'm just kidding. No. I think this is a real classic for women and men to enjoy.
Yes.
And teenagers too.
I think a great movie night would be His Girl Friday, followed by Woman of the Year. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you see His Girl Friday from one point of view and Woman of the Year from another point of view.
Yeah, and it both around the newspaper industry. Because at His Girl Friday, they work at a newspaper, and they also do in Woman of the Year. And they both came out roughly around the same time. I think His Girl Friday is like 1 or 2 years before this.
And I think in His Girl Friday they talked a lot faster.
Yeah, they did.
It was a fun movie. They're both really fun movies.
Yeah, I like His Girl Friday more.
Yep.
But this is was still very well done.
Yep.
Yes.
Understandable.
Yes. Well, good.
Very good.
I'm glad we saw it and we both enjoyed it.
Yep.
Better than Hoosiers.
Oh, Hoosiers maybe should have been called Losers.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's okay, babes.
Or Losers.
Yeah. Jaylo.
Yep.
I understand that you had a dream last night.
I did.
Tell me.
It was weird. I had a dream that my sister was talking to me on the phone, and she told me that she was going to this school out of state who with this girl that went to school with me. She was also my former music tutor, and we did flute recitals together. And my other sister was going to be in the same university as them. It was kind of strange. And then she was talking about, I guess the school was supposed to be like somewhere in New York. And then she was talking to me about her and her family visiting, and said, oh yeah, we went to this McDonald's in New York and it was super fancy. But I thought, wait a minute, there's a fancy McDonald's in North Carolina. That's not that was the one I was thinking about. But yeah. In my dream it was New York, so
nice.
It was kind of weird. Did you have any dreams?
None that I remember. Actually, yeah, I dreamt that I was asleep, and then I woke up because somebody was yelling "Dirk."
You weren't.
What do you mean I wasn't?
I heard it.
Okay.
It was...
Oh, God, that was annoying.
Some people... Every time I hear some yelling or something, I think it's coming from my building, but I think it's across the street.
This one, I think, was across the street.
It was so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, Dirk!
It's, I don't know, like 1:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing. And we hear,
it was really...
Dirk!
It was so annoying.
Dirk! I wanted to open your window and just start screaming at this mofo.
I wanted to also.
Yes.
I want to be like, shut up, people are sleeping.
Shut the fuck up.
We
don't care about Dirk. All right. What's up?
All right.
What?
It's gone now.
Oh, yeah, but I got to vent, babes.
I know.
I'm venting, boy, babes.
Oh my goodness. But I don't like it when I hear people yelling outside crazy things.
No.
It's very annoying.
I would agree, babes. Yes. Well, I hope that he met up with Dirk and Dirk beat his ass. No, I don't want that. But that was just humor, babes.
Wow.
Yes, and you just yawned.
I did.
Jaylo.
Yep.
Are there any self-love exercises you plan on doing over the next couple of days?
No. Well, it's going to be interesting because I will not have a class all week. I have classes except for one.
Tech.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's going to be a little bit different.
So you have an early day on Wednesday then, right?
I do.
Nice.
Yes, I do. So
maybe we'll hang out then, Jaylo.
Well, we'll talk about it like
privately
during the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. We may even go back to the museum.
Maybe. We'll see though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, good, babes.
Very good.
Jaylo, is there anything else you want to say?
No.
All right, well, give me a kiss and we'll wrap it up.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. What?
No, nothing.
Another joke?
No.
Is it another guy
joke?
No. Another amyloid joke?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you and amyloid.
Alana created this character called the guy.
No, that was you.
And
that wasn't me. That was you.
One of her ideas.
No, that was you. And that was you. Don't put that on me. He created Rick created a character called the guy, and he had a horrible life, and he only eats amyloid, which is
when he was raised, his
bad protein.
His mom died during childbirth, and his dad was a monster truck performer. Meaning he would drive the cars, not that he was a monster truck. And the dad would only feed him amyloid. That was all he was allowed to eat, with a little bit of asbestos. And you know how some people will have the Parmesan cheese that they'll pour over stuff? He couldn't have that, but instead of Parmesan, he got asbestos to put on some of his meals. For flavoring, of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, this is what came out of Alana's mind.
I did not say that. That was you.
Oh, okay.
I don't create weird characters like that.
Interesting.
I would never have thought of amyloid and asbestos as a meal.
Wow.
And
Nice.
you can get sick from asbestos.
And I don't exactly think that amyloid is the healthiest thing either. But this
No,
is
it
what he ate
causes
growing
dementia.
up. This is what he had his meals.
No, if you get enough amyloid on your brain, it can cause dementia.
Well, remember, he also had throat cancer when he was 9 because his dad made him smoke so much. So it wasn't the best environment for him.
My goodness.
What? Okay. Well, babes.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to say either about the yeah guy or yourself or life in general?
There is no yeah guy, and it's cold.
It is. And you probably want to kick me out soon. Because it's daylight savings, we jumped forward, so we lost an hour.
That's right.
Yes.
Maybe that's why I'm sleepy.
Oh, good. Okay, Jaylo, let's wrap it up there, Jaylo.
Okay.
Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.